Hi everybody, welcome to the Student Learning Support Service. My name is Lauren, and in this video we're going to give you a little bit of an introduction to how to write a great body paragraph. Now, paragraphs seem a little bit easy. They are essentially a unified collection of sentences that relate to a single topic. Seems easy, right? But many of us struggle to know exactly where to begin, how long a paragraph should be, and how to transition between them. Paragraphs are really important in helping our reader to understand our work, both what it is about and how it is structured. Not to mention, they make our work much easier to read. So if the introduction is a map, this is what I talked about in our introduction video, that sees what our destination is, our conclusion, and how we're going to get there, the body paragraphs are the individual roads that we take on that journey. They take each idea down a particular path and link together to bring us to that conclusion. And I think it is really helpful to think of each idea as its own separate path, because without them it's very easy to get lost through the trees, so to speak. Trying to read unbroken text is hard. It's like being lost in a forest that you can't see through. Paragraphs allow us to divide our ideas up into sort of discrete chunks that can stand alone outside of our writing. But when we put them together, they help us to develop the main thesis of our writing. So whatever it is that we set out in our introduction, be that an argument or a main focus. So very briefly, they look a little bit like this. So we have our topic sentences, the development of the ideas through elaboration, evidence and examples, and a concluding sentence. And I'm going to break each of these elements up a little bit more now. So let's start with the first one, our topic sentences. So if each paragraph should be able to stand alone as a unified and coherent piece of writing, then think of your topic sentence as a mini introduction. It tells your reader the main idea of the paragraph and shows its relevance to either the overall argument or topic, or perhaps to the previous paragraph. The topic sentences are essentially those signposts on our journey that help guide the reader along. They tell us when we're turning down a new road or how that road is linked to the previous road. And so a reader really should be able to scan through your whole paper and by just reading that first topic sentence of each paragraph, come away with a very clear understanding of the main points of your assignment. This means they can also navigate their way to whichever point is the most relevant to them if they're not going to read the whole thing in one sitting. So this topic sentence tells us that the writer will talk about convenience foods and their preparation. The topic is convenience foods, and then the controlling idea, so how that's going to be developed, is that they are easy to prepare. The topic sentence also helps us logically structure our writing, telling the reader how ideas are connected to one another. So we can use things like transition words to help with this. So this transition tells us that the previous paragraph talked about nutrition, and now we're shifting gears. We're going down a new road to a contrasting point. So see our PDF guide for more about these transitions. Paragraphs aren't merely there to make a large slab of text easier to read. Really, they help us to logically structure and develop our ideas. And in most forms of writing, particularly in academic writing, the supporting sentences are where we do this work. It's where we elaborate on ideas by introducing evidence that supports it, by evaluating or analysing that evidence, using examples to demonstrate that evidence, and of course linking it back to concepts or practice, or of course linking the evidence and examples back to your overall argument. Now, the length of your paragraph, so how long you have to elaborate in these following sentences, really should be dictated by the logic of your ideas. However, in most forms of academic writing, you simply can't develop an idea properly in less than about 3 sentences. If you find that you're becoming longer than this, say more than 5 or 6 sentences. Then it's worth thinking about how you can maybe break up an idea into sub-ideas. So where is there a split, a contrasting point, or a developing idea that you can separate, and using those transition words have two paragraphs rather, instead. And it should be noted this is really a feature of academic writing. If you're writing outside of things like essays or reports, the length of paragraphs can vary, so just be aware of that. Now, if you want to know more about how to develop these ideas properly within your argument, I recommend having a look at some of our guides and videos on writing an argument and integrating evidence. Now, finally, just like any standalone piece, your paragraph needs to end with a clear resolution to the idea that you've just developed. So this should summarize the main idea of your paragraph and link it back to your topic. Or it may also give the reader an indication of the topic of the following paragraph. A good concluding sentence should also give us an idea of the implications of this point. So think of it as the so what of the paragraph. Basically, why have you included all of this information? So, to summarize, paragraphs are a unified collection of sentences that develop a single idea. Topic sentences act as a signpost for readers, informing them of the paragraph's main point, and we develop the main ideas using evidence, examples, and we end our paragraphs with a linking or a concluding sentence. So from here, there's quite a few places that you can go. If you haven't already had a look at the video on introductions or conclusions, you might want to have a look at those. But really importantly, for more about how to develop those ideas logically, particularly if you are writing an argument, I very strongly recommend that you check out our resources on argument and on how to integrate evidence, both the language of integrating evidence and of course how we quote and paraphrase when we're doing so. So that's all from me. I hope to see you in one of those videos.